it's Jess. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to the reading vlog. We have reached week 3 of the magical readathon Aurelium. We are officially halfway through with this readathon, and if you watched my other 2 vlogs, I will have them linked below for week 1 and week 2. You know that I have 6 classes that I need to complete for the first semester of this year. I am getting my next level in my Archmage calling, and I am having so much fun with this readathon. Again, thank you to G for doing all of this. It is so much work and so much effort, and I'm continually grateful for all of the work that she does, as well as like all of the other people that put in work, because I know it is a team effort. I have finished 3 classes completely, and I have 3 left to go. If you've seen my other 2 vlogs, you know that I already started the classes for alchemy and for artificery. I am reading the Empire of Gold for alchemy, and I'm reading Lonely Castle in the Mirror for artificery. Lonely Castle in the Mirror is what my book club is reading for this month, so I'm only reading a section of it each week, and it's roughly like 90 pages. That is what I will be starting with this week. I just finished a stream, and honestly, I think I'm literally gonna go sit down and read this week's section for Lonely Castle in the Mirror. And then after I finish this week's section, I will be picking up the Empire of Gold. I'm currently around page 200 in that book. I have finished part 1. Things are not looking good. If I'm being honest, things are looking real bad for a whole lot of people. But yeah, I just wanted to open up this vlog, say hello to all of my friends, and just let you know what I am reading for this week. For those of you who didn't see my week 1 or week 2 and have never heard of this book, Lonely Castle in the Mirror is a Japanese translated novel, and I'm not sure what the age range is for it. It honestly feels between the age ranges of middle grade and young adult. It is single POV, but it follows a group of children who have stopped attending school due to some very severe bullying. It is quite bad in my opinion. One day, the main character, who is the POV, her mirror lights up while she's home from school, and when she touches the mirror, she is transported to a magical castle. There she meets all the other kids. They are told that they have until the next school year, basically almost an entire year, that they can search for a key, and that key will unlock a wishing room, which one person will get to make a wish. They also can only be in the castle during specific hours during the day, and something bad will happen if they try to stay in the castle overnight. So that is the premise of the book. I am pretty far into it at this point. I liked the second section that I read, so like the second quarter of the book much more than I liked the first quarter of the book. So I'm really hoping that the book will continue to trend upward, and that I'm going to enjoy the third quarter even more than the second quarter. If I finish it before I fall asleep, I will give you all an update, but later. I'm back. It's a couple hours later, and I finished this week's section for Lonely Castle in the Mirror. I have some good news because I did like the third quarter of this book even more than the second quarter, which I liked even more than the first quarter. If you didn't see my other vlogs, I talked in those about how this book really examines depression and mental health and some of the different ways that we react to that. Specifically in this book, it is dealing with a group of middle schoolers, and they obviously are all young. I mean, the intended audience for reading this book is also middle schoolers, and they don't always react. I mean, even like adults, even myself, when I'm dealing with mental health, like I don't always react in the most healthy ways. But especially these kids, they don't always react in healthy or logical ways, and they don't necessarily always have enough emotional intelligence to truly understand what they're feeling and why they are feeling that. This book really just looks at how different people can handle mental health problems. Even though I don't think that this book is going to become a favorite of all time, I do think that this book is going to be one that I will think about, I mean, months, potentially years after I finish this. There was definitely some wholesome moments in this section that I really, really enjoyed. There was also some major discussions in here between the different kids that are going to this castle, and things about them working together versus like the inherent selfishness of only one of them being able to make the wish, and if they don't make the wish versus if they do make the wish, and what will the consequences of that all be, which doesn't make any sense to you because you haven't read the book, but like it makes sense to me because it's not just like making a wish. There is quite a bit more involved within this book. Keeping it intentionally vague, I also particularly loved the scene when Kokoro, who is the like main character, the point of view that you're in for this, when she goes out into the world in this section with another character, and the conversation that they have together and how heartwarming it is and how healing it is and how very, very important it is. It was just such a beautiful and empathetic conversation that those characters had together, and also a very like open one where there was some awkwardness, but also a lot of honesty. And I loved it. I loved that scene. It was so well done. I'm really enjoying my time in Lonely Castle in the Mirror. Now I am going to pick up Empire of Gold, and I'm going to try to finish that chonky behemoth of a book. It is just over 750 pages. The Empire of Gold is the third book in the Daevabad trilogy. This trilogy follows Nari, who is, at the start of the series, a con woman in Cairo, Egypt. One day, she is working a con, and she basically like unleashes magic that she didn't know she had. She ends up summoning a djinn named Dara. Well, that's just his nickname, but Dara sees her and is like, excuse me, you have magic, and now because you've summoned me, I am duty bound to bring you to Daevabad, which is a magical city on an island where all the jinn live. Once Nari's there, in addition to having Dara with her, she also meets Ali, who is one of the princes of the city. And yeah, it just kind of kicks off from there. This series is so extremely, extremely political. It is honestly one of the best written political fantasies that I personally have ever read. I also like truly love the setting of this series. Daevabad is just honestly such a cool setting. All of the main characters have magic. It's just so fantastic, and there's just so many things going on. The story is very complex. It's so engaging. I really, really recommend this series. Like, throughout the entire series, there's just like constantly like more things added as well. It's like as soon as you think you know what's going on, it's like, oh yeah, by the way, ba-boom, and everything just gets like blown up in the main characters' faces, which is something that I truly love as a reader. I don't know what that says about me, that I like it when things blow up in the main characters' faces, but I do. I love it. I am in the third book of the series, so I really can't tell you any specifics about it. It basically sucks for all of the characters. Like, things are really, really bad. Things are so bad for them. And I just finished part one, and at the end of part one, things got even worse. It's truly just a hot mess for every single person involved. Hopefully I can finish up my fourth class of the month. Talk to you later. Hi. Hello. Update time. It is a couple days later, and I'm gonna be very honest. My mental health has been really, really shit. I've honestly just been really, really struggling for the past couple of days. I haven't really felt like filming or being on camera. You know, I'm working through it. Everything will be okay. Like, it's fine. It's just not fine. You know what I'm saying? To kind of combat this little mental health episode that I've been having, I picked up Blood Sanctuary Part 1. And it's okay because it does count for the first prompt of the alchemy side quest, because in the windows on the cover you can see the night sky. It's fine for the readathon. The main problem with me using that for the alchemy quest is that it is such a long book. It's over 400 pages, so it's not really ideal, especially since I'm currently also trying to work my way through the Empire of Gold, which is over 700 pages. Really not good for the readathon. However, reading Blood Sanctuary has been so good for my mental health. It is bringing me so much happiness and joy. Now, I have read some in the Empire of Gold since I last checked in with you. I'm now around page 400. As a side effect of this freaking depressive episode that I'm going through right now, I also completely ruined my sleep schedule. It's like almost entirely flipped. So I need to fix the sleep schedule. And to do that, I am simply going to try to stay awake for 24 hours. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get the last 350 pages in the Empire of Gold read, and I'm gonna try to finish Blood Sanctuary Part 1. I already told you what the Empire of Gold is about. I'm loving this book. I really, truly am. I think it's fantastic. Don't know how anything good could possibly happen, though, because I'm 400 pages in and things just keep getting worse. Like, I'm like, surely at this point, nothing will get worse. Like, surely now we will move to the resolution. And wouldn't you know it, things do indeed get drastically worse. Now I'm 200 pages further in the book. There's only 350 pages left, and I don't know how we're gonna resolve anything. Like, I don't know how we're gonna get there. However, it's been a very entertaining 200 pages. The pages fly by. I am engrossed every single time I'm reading this book. It is so good. Truly, I do not know what's going to happen. So many of the characters in this series could make different choices. And so I really, truly do not know what is going to happen. Like, it's just so well developed and so well plotted, and it's so entertaining. And I just am like, yeehaw, we're going for a ride. Now, I have not talked about the Blood Grace series in this vlog yet. So Blood Sanctuary Part 1 is the third book in the Blood Grace series, which I started and read books 1 and 2 of last month. I'm very, very obsessed with this series. It is quickly becoming a new favorite series of mine. I think it's so outstanding. So basically, this series is a fantastical romance. I think that the primary genre for it is romance. Like, that is definitely at the forefront of the novel, but there's also a really, really good, solid political plot line. It is dual POV, and you follow Leo and Cassia, and Leo is what is called a Hesperine, and it's a vampire. Leo's a vampire. And then Cassia is just a mortal girl. She is the bastard daughter and eldest child of the king of her country. He's not a good king. He's not a good king. And Leo is an apprentice diplomat who has been chosen to attend with a diplomatic envoy to go to Cassia's country in order to have peace talks. Obviously, since it is a romance, like, we know what is gonna happen. Cassia kind of orchestrates some events so that she can run into Leo because she has some questions based on things that have happened in her past that she wants to get some resolution from. And basically, like, from there, they just begin talking, and it kind of turns into this really cute friendship, and then that friendship evolves from there to a more romantic relationship. I think the political plot line really keeps the story moving. I think it's fantastic, and Leo and Cassia are both like excellent characters. I love both of them. I have like full thoughts on the first 2 books in last month's wrap up. It gives me so many butterflies, and like I'm just sitting around reading and just smiling so much because it's just such a cute little relationship. I am going to try to stay up for 24 hours. In that time, we will see if I can read, like, I think I have like 240-ish pages left in Blood Sanctuary and 350 left in The Empire of Gold. I can read that many pages in 24 hours. Now we're gonna find out if my brain will let me. That's a whole different story. Okay, I'm gonna go make some coffee and I'm gonna read some books. I will talk to you later. Hello, it's the next day. Yes, I'm wearing the same clothes. Yes, I still have not washed my hair. Listen, mind your own business. I'm doing the best that I can this week, okay? Did I put on makeup just to help my self-esteem? Maybe. Is it working? Not really. Did I stay up for 24 hours? Yes. I actually did. And I did finish both of the books. That means that I finished my alchemy class. And so I've now completed 4 classes. I have 2 classes left for next week. I also completed the first part of the alchemy quest line. Good news to Jessica. I can read Blood Sanctuary Part 2 for the next part of the alchemy quest line. Is that the smartest idea? No, because again, it's over 400 pages. Am I going to do it anyways? Yes, I am. I finished 2 books yesterday. I'm so happy. Well, I mean, I'm not, but I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm happy, but like also depressed. I finished Empire of Gold. It was so excellent. It was so good. Shannon Chakraborty just like blew the world open. She introduced so many cool things. I can't tell you what they are, but like the thing with Allie in the boat when and he goes that so cool, so terrifying, so cool. Also at the end of the book, when the big the blobs and just and like if you know, you know, that was excellent. 5-star read. And like also just the character work that Shannon Chakraborty did over the course of the series and how much people changed and learned and grew. Sometimes not for the better, but they changed all right. The girl can write. The world that she has built is so believable, it's so real, it's so intricate, and like the fact that she still in the 3rd book of the series is like dropping new world building things into the world that fit so seamlessly and makes so much sense is just, it's so good. It is really truly excellent. I highly recommend this series if you are a fantasy reader. I think it's so great. I love it. And then I also finished up Blood Sanctuary Part 1, the 3rd book in the Blood Gray series. I loved this also. I'm gonna rate this 5 stars on Goodreads. It's really more like a 4.5. The only like real complaint I have about this, the only reason it's not like a full 5-star book is that in the beginning of this book, things are like a little choppy and we do quite a bit of jumping around. It's fine, honestly. I think overall this series has been perfectly paced. So like I don't think it's a pacing issue. I just like the beginning of the book just like felt really choppy and I don't know how else to describe it. Once you hit like the 30% mark, I would say things start rocking and rolling and it's phenomenal. And then I did also want to say that I wish that there were more Leo Cassia moments in this one. There are a lot of things going on. There's a lot happening in this volume, and as a result, some of like the more quiet, tender moments between Leo and Cassia, they end up getting skipped or like it's kind of shortened in this. Since she split this book up into 2 parts, which like I understand because it would have been over 900 pages if she didn't split it up. And so like I get why she did, but I'm like, since you split it up, why didn't you go back and add more moments of Leo and Cassia because I want them. I don't want to spoil anything, and like I haven't about like the political plot line. Like this series is very, very political. I love the political plot line, but it is definitely the romance and the characters that bring me back. This is a very character driven story, and honestly, Leo and Cassia just feel so real. I have also previously complained that some of the side characters felt like less developed. And in this one, it's been really great because a lot of the side characters are getting more screen time. And again, that is another reason that there's less like just Leo and Cassia time, because there's quite a bit of time developed into the side characters. And I think that is so great. And I'm so happy because I love some of the side characters in here. But again, I just want more Leo and Cassia. Because book one was a slow burn romance, Leo and Cassia are still in like the early phases of their romance. And so, like, both of them are so invested in the other person, but like, they kind of have like those like yearning moments where you're dancing around what you really want to say to the person because you're like, oh shit, what if they don't feel the same way about me, you know? I just think it's so cute. I am so into this series. I'm so into this couple. I'm so happy that book 4 in the series works for part 2 of the alchemy side quest, because like I just cannot wait to pick it up. This series brings me endless joy. If anything that I've said about this series sounds interesting to you, please pick up this series. I love it so much. It is so good. I think that I'm gonna go ahead and end the vlog here. I could like read for the rest of the day, but that would honestly like make me start a new book. So I'd rather just end the vlog here and start a new book in next week's vlog. Even though like I am struggling and I am having a hard time in life, the reading that I've done this week has really brought me so much joy, and you can tell I'm smiling so much in this clip. I'm loving what I'm reading. It's been fantastic. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. I really, really appreciate it. If you enjoyed your time here, please consider subscribing. I hope that you're safe this week. I hope you're hydrated this week, and I will see you next week for a new video about the final week of the magical readathon. Goodbye!